Jai Hind all of you. I am Manish Kumar, Assistant Professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College. So, today I am brief you about an important topic in Java, that is constructors in Java. Okay. So, first of all, we know that what is Java. We all know that Java is called as object oriented programming language. Yes, and it is one of the most secured programming language. There are a number of features that we have already studied. How to write a Java program, that we have also know. This is an important topic according to our syllabus, that is constructors in Java. Okay. So, today's topic that we are going to discuss, today's topics that we going to discuss, what is constructor. We will going to define a constructor, what is the definition of constructor, okay, with the help of an example, obviously. Okay. Then there are certain rules for creating a constructor that we will study, that we will see here. Okay. There are number of types of constructor, so we will study what are the different types of constructor, how we are going to create those constructors. With the help of an example, I will elaborate all these. Okay. Next, one of the most important topic, another important topic, that is called as, firstly we have studied constructor, secondly we will discuss about method overloading. What is method overloading, right? What are different ways to overload it, right? What is constructor overloading? And lastly, we will see the role of this keyword in overloading, right? So, just we will move forward. We know that what is a constructor. A constructor is a block of code that is similar to a method. We know that we call it, sometimes we call it a function. We use a term function. Sometimes we use a term method. Okay. So, we can create our own methods. We know that there are already predefined methods in Java, number of predefined methods. Okay. So, that constructor can be defined as a block of code. Okay. What type of block of code? It is just similar to a method. Okay. So, when it is called, whenever we are going to create an instance of a class, whenever, so there is one method that is called as constructor. At least there is one method whenever we are going to create an instance of a class. Okay. So, it is called when an instance of a class is created. It is written here. Okay. So, at the time of calling instructor, memory for the object is allocated in the memory. Okay. It is obvious, because when we are going to create an object, it will going to take some memory. Okay. So, similarly, when we are at the time of calling, when we called a constructor, and we know that whenever we are going to create the instance of a class, that constructor is called. There is one method that is being called, that is called as constructor. Okay. So, we can call it, it is a special type of method, we can call it. So, while writing a definition, we can use this term special type. So, it is a special type of method which is used to initialize the object, right? So, every time an object is created, whenever, and we know that how it is created, with the new keyword, with the help of new keyword. Okay. At least one constructor is called, at least there is one constructor is called. Okay. Every time. So, this is important, you keep in mind. Okay, na? So, whenever we are used this new keyword, so there is by default, or we can say that there is one method that is called as constructor, right? So, this is constructor. So, you can see with the help of an example ki I have defined a class, public class, my class. The name of the class is my class. Okay. So, and this is a method. This is a method, my class. So, the name of the method is same as the name of a class. Okay. So, my class. So, I have written here system.out.println beginnersbook.com, for example. Okay. Then I have make a main method, public static void main string args. So, I have created a object, reference is created, object of that class, my class object, with the help of this new keyword, right? This is a new keyword that I have already explained you, my class. So, whenever we are going to create the instance of this class with the help of this new keyword, then by default, yeah, there is at least one method that is compulsorily called, that is this method. What is this? This is a constructor. Okay, so whenever we are going to run this program, so by default beginnersbook.com will be printed. Okay, so here it is written, new keyword creates the object of my class and evokes the constructor to initialize the created object. So this is automatically whenever this this default constructor is called. What is this default constructor? This is a type of method simply. Okay, now there are certain rules for creating Java constructor. Okay, so what are those rules? We know that constructor name must be same as its class name, that we have shown here. The name of the class is my class, and what is the name of the constructor? My class. These are same. So this is the first rule, right? Name must be same as its class name, number one. Okay, a constructor must have no explicit return type. No explicit return type. We haven't defined any return type here, right? We haven't defined any return type here. So no explicit return type. Number two. Number three, a Java constructor cannot be abstract. This keep in mind, it cannot be abstract. Cannot be abstract, number one. Cannot be static, number two. Cannot be final, number three, and cannot be synchronized. Okay, it is just simply a method. Okay, we can use access modifiers while declaring a constructor. Yes, we can use. What are those access modifiers? Public, private, protected, right? We can use these access modifiers while declaring a constructor. Okay, it controls the object creation. Okay, or we can say that what are those modifiers? Private, protected, public, or default constructor in Java. So in this example, this is default, right? Okay, so these are the rules for creating a constructor. Now, what are the different types of constructors? So there are three types of constructors. This is, you need to keep in mind. There are three types of constructors. That is default constructor, number one. What is the meaning of default constructor? It means that no arguments are given. Just in the previous example we have seen, this is a default constructor, no argument is given. The braces are empty here, right? Okay. So number one, default constructor. Number two, whenever we give some arguments, some values within those small brackets, okay, that is called as parameterized constructor. Okay, and number three is copy constructor. Okay, so let us understand with the help of an example what is default, parameterized, and copy constructor. Okay, so in this default constructor, we can see that we have create a default constructor. How we create? See, I have just make a class. The name of the class is bike1. Okay, and under this is the name of the class. So obviously the name of the constructor should be bike1. Okay, so bike1 is there. The name of the bike1. Okay, this bike1 is my constructor, and under this default constructor I have written system.out.println. I am just printing bike is created. So whenever I am going to run this program, this default constructor is created and it will print bike is created. Public static void main, public static void main. This is okay. So under this I have just create the object. So whenever I am going to create this object, and we know that whenever we are going to run it, it will print bike is created. Okay, and that we very well know how to run. Either we can use some IDE. Most of the popular IDEs that students use today, the NetBeans IDE is there. Okay, Visual Studio is there, VS Code is there, right? VS Code is there. Okay, and we can also save a program in a notepad, save it with .java extension, right? For example, I have saved this file with bike1.java. Okay, save this program is bike1.java. Then I am on the command prompt. On the command prompt, for example, okay, firstly I will compile this. How we are going to compile? With the help of this command java bike1.java. Then the program will be compiled. Compiled means the .class file is created. Okay, then in next line we will run this program using this command java bike1.java. with the help of this command we are going to run this code. Okay, so whenever we run this code, then it will print here what by this default constructor is called bike is created. So this is the output that is generated. So this is an example of default constructor. Okay, right? So bike is created, this output is generated. Okay, right? Now second is parameterized constructor. Parameterize means we are going to pass some values. See, so this is the name of my class student 4. Let us for example student 4. Okay, in this two variables id string name. Okay, now this is a parameterized constructor. We know that the name of this constructor method is same as the class name. So my class name is student 4 and here I have used a constructor student 4 and I have passed these two parameters here which will take id and name. Okay, so I have initialized that key I, the value of I will go in id which will come using this parameter and the value of n will go into name. Okay, another method is simple, some method I have created for displaying the value. Word display id and name will be printed. Okay, the main method is this. This is the main method, public static void main. I have created two objects s1 and s2. Okay, firstly, so whenever this new keyword is used, by default a constructor is evoked. What type of constructor is here? This is parameterized constructor, right? So firstly it will print 111 and Karan, and secondly for this s2 it will print 222 rn. Okay, so we are going to call this, then this constructor is called, value is initialized, and with the help of this display s1 dot display and s2 dot display, these values are printed. Okay, these values are printed. Okay, so similarly we are just going to run the program. This firstly 111 and the Karan, firstly it will print system.out.111 space Karan, then it will print 222 rn. This will be the output of this program. So here how these values are passed with the help of parameterized constructor. Okay, now next copy constructor. Now you can see that in this copy constructor I have used a parameterized constructor. Here the name of the class is rectangle, two variables are there, length and breadth. Okay, now here rectangle, under this rectangle constructor I have used L and B. The value is passed with the, when we are going to call this, when we are going to make the instance of this method, L into length and B into breadth. Okay, now under this copy constructor I have create, this is called copy constructor. See, this is, just keep in mind, this is important. Under this copy constructor I have create a constructor and as a parameter I have passed the object of this rectangle. Okay, so under this copy constructor I have print copy constructor evoked length, how this value of length is with the help of this object of which this rectangle class object, obj dot length, obj dot breadth. So and there is one method to calculate the area, length into breadth. This is another method. Okay, so I have make a class, copy constructor class is make, under that public static void main. Okay, now I have make the first object with the name of first rectangle, right, with the name of first rectangle. So I have passed 5 and 6. This is an example of parameterized constructor. Now this will pass into here 5 and 6. Under length 5 will become, under breadth 6 is come. Okay, then this copy constructor system.out.println, this copy constructor evoked will be printed and length is equal to 5 and breadth is equal to 6 will be printed. Okay, right. You, when I am going to call this second, whenever I am going to make this second rectangle, this object, and new rectangle first rect, it is called first rect. What is this first rect? First rect is the object, first object, है ना, and when it is called which method is evoked? Copy constructor method is evoked. Okay, and under that copy constructor method, the values are printed, and from where this value is printed? By default constructor 5 and 6, length is equal to 5, breadth is equal to 6. Then we have printed the area simply. First rect dot area 5 6 is 30. Then second rect dot area, this will also print 30. Okay. Okay, students. So this is how the copy constructor works. Thus, you have to keep in mind that we are just make the object of the just we are passing the argument of the first object here. Okay, here, right? So this is copy constructor. Now next method overloading. Next is method overloading. This is also one of the important concept. Very important. It is very important. Generally it is asked in exams, interviews, vivas, what do you mean by overloading? Okay. So here you can see that overloading means we are overloading something. We are writing something, है ना? And before it a word method is used. So method overloading means कि we are using a concept of polymorphism, which is one of the important important feature of object oriented programming languages. Polymorphism means yes, it is with one name and different functions. एक नाम कहीं काम, like this. Okay. So method overloading is a feature that allows a class to have more than one methods. Class is one and that class is having more than one method having the same name, because this is the functionality of polymorphism. So polymorphism is implemented with the help of method overloading. Okay. And what type of polymorphism? Static polymorphism means one name and several functionalities. Okay. But if more than one method have same name, then their argument list are different, right? So if we have to perform only one operation having same name of the methods increases the readability of the program. Okay. So there is one important concept with what is the use of method overloading? Method overloading increases the readability of the program. ठीक है ना? It is an example of static polymorphism. It is also called as compile time binding or early binding. It is also called compile time or early binding. ठीक है? Static polymorphism. ठीक है? Static binding happens at compile time. Because it happens at compile time, so we call it compile time binding also. ठीक है? So method overloading is an example of static binding, right? Where binding of method call to its definition happens at compile time. So it is called at compile time binding. Okay. So there is one invalid case of method overloading. For example, if two methods have the same name, methods are same, parameters are same, but having different return type. Keep in mind, name is same, parameter is same, but return type is different. This is not valid. It will throw compilation error, right? For example, if I have a method called as add, their parameters are same, int, comma, int. This is one method. Another method having the same name, same parameters, but the return type is different. For example, now I have return type float. So this will give error. What type of error? Compilation error, because we call it binding, compile time binding. So the error will be given at compile time. Compile time error is given by this, because there is important thing that we have to keep in mind. If the functions have same parameter, int and of same type, name is also same, but return type is different, then this will throw a compile time error. So what we have to do? We have to keep some difference in the parameters also. Okay. So this is method overloading, and there is one invalid case that I have told you. Okay. So there are three ways of overloading a method. Firstly, we have seen that on the basis of number of parameters, the name is same. For example, add. There are two methods having the same name but different parameters. Here we have two parameters and here we have three parameters. Okay. तो on the basis of number of parameters. This is the first type. ठीक है, this is the first way. Sorry, first way. Okay. Secondly is data types of parameters. For example, in the first example, we have same type of data types of the parameters. Now, in this, we have same name add, but different data types. So, on the basis of data types of parameter, okay, there is this is the second way. So, in this first, we have int, and in second, we have first parameter is of integer type and second parameter is of float type, right? And third is basis on the sequence of data type. For example, I have used a function add. Sorry, the name of the function and name of the method is add. Two methods, है ना? Add. Firstly, in this first function या method, I have used parameter int float, and secondly, function name is same add, but in this first parameter is of float type and second parameter is of int type, right? So this is called a sequence of data type of parameter. So there are three ways on the basis of which we are going to overload a method, right? So what is overloading? Method overloading is just simply when we are going to use a similar type of name of the functions was same, name of the functions or methods are same, but their parameters are different. Okay. So there are three ways. Now, first of all, we can see with the help of an example where different parameters are used. For example, this first class, the name of that class is display overloading. Under this, I have used a method DISP, dispatch method. For example, DISP method, under which I have used a parameter character, one parameter char C, system.out.println is just printing C. Another, the name of the method is same, void char C int, two different, ठीक है, name is same and one parameter, two parameter. This is on the basis of parameter, right? New object, display overloading, method name, disp A or 10 character and name. This is the example of overloading, ठीक है, and output will be A and A10, right? Secondly, on the different parameters, char C, int C, the name is same, DISP, ठीक है. Firstly, the first parameter is of character type, second, in second function the parameter is of integer type, then I have used A and here 5, ठीक है. So this will print, output will be A and 5, ठीक है. And third is char C int. Firstly, I have used character type parameter, secondly integer type, and again here integer type firstly and secondly is character C, X and 51, 52 and Y, ठीक है. And this will be printed. I am the first definition of method disp, this will be printed, ठीक है. Then I am the second definition of method disp 52. Okay, this is how we can use, ठीक है. Similarly, in this similar manner, we can also use constructor overloading, and we know that what is overloading, different parameters and method having same name. Similarly, constructor can also be overloaded. Demo string S, demo int I. So different parameters and the name is, this is default, this is string type parameter, this is integer type. So there are three overloaded constructors, ठीक है. See, int R, string double int. So we have used here, see, first S1 1 Kumar 78.53, then string, float and integer. So similar in this manner, we can also do method overloading of the constructors, and it will be printed, output will be printed like this. Okay, students. And this is also, you can know that this is the role of this method in constructor overloading. So in this method overloading, I have used here this method, ठीक है. So this is very helpful sometimes in doing the constructor overloading. So what this will do, this will help to point out the current object, ठीक है. So in public static void main, I have used this, create this object obj new overloading example 2, and under this I have passed 12. So this 12 will go here, ठीक है. Then this is called here. So what happened, this is used for calling the default constructor. So with the help of this default constructor is called, ठीक है. So the output will be, it will come 112, ठीक है. So system dot get roll number. So roll number is return roll number. So what is roll number? It will return here 12, ठीक है. or we have do this addition here, roll number is equal to roll number plus R number. So roll number is 100, it will come from here, and R number it will come from here. So 100 plus 12 and it will print 112. So this is the role of this in constructor overloading. Okay, so that's all for today. Okay, students, we will meet next time with the new topics. Okay, thank you for today.